Repetition control statements in C++. While example in C++. Here the user has to enter a number. When the number is greater than 0, that number will be printed, and then the number will be decremented by 1. Again, the while condition check whether the number is greater than 0. If that number is greater than 0, the number is printed, and then again do while example. Here the number will be printed unless the number is equal to 0. For loop example. In this example, numbers will be printed from 10 to 1. Repetition control statements in Python. While loop example. Here the count will be printed from 0 to 8. In the end, the goodbye message will be printed. Do while loop example. For loop example. In the first for loop, the count variable value from 1 to 11 will be printed. In the second example, the demolished array elements will be printed. Repetition control statements in Pascal. For loop to print 1 to 5 from Pascal. While loop to print numbers from 1 to 5. Here the number is initialized to number 1, and inside the while loop the number value is incremented by 1. Here we have provided the example coding to count the factorial of number 5. Repetition control statements in Ruby. While loop example in Ruby. Repeat example in Ruby. For loop to print 4 to 6 numbers from Ruby. Repetition control statements in ALGOL. ALGOL while loop. In this for loop, it prints out the number of days in each month for a given year. Repetition control statements in C#. C# for loop example to print values from 0 to 4. While loop example in C#. This is another example for what we have done previously. Do while loop example. Now we move on to FORTRAN control statements. There are a number of control statements in FORTRAN. Unconditional goto, computed goto, assigned goto, arithmetic if, logical if, block if, else, end if, do, continue, stop, pause, end, call and return are those statements. Unconditional goto. This is used with goto statement followed by a label of an executable statement in the same program. Unconditional goto causes transformation of control statements identified by the label. Computed goto. The form of computed goto is goto, then set of labels, then inside parentheses followed by integer value. This is similar to case statements in any other language. Assigned goto. The form is goto statement, integer variable, and then brackets. Execution is jump to the label stated in the integer variable, and list the inside brackets will be ignored. Arithmetic if statement. The form is shown here. Logical if statement. If inside bracket E is the form of the statement. Execution causes if the value of E is true, then execute the statements. If the value of E is false, statements will not be executed and the sequence will continue. Block if. It is used with end if statement and optionally else if and else statements. When E is true, statement inside block if will be executed and ends from end if. Else and else if. Else and else if. They can be used according to the situation. Let's go to the rest of the conditional statements briefly. This is else if part. Else if block. Else statement. And this is end if. End if statement corresponds to each block of if statements. Do statement. Do is used to specify a loop. It is the most optimized statement in FORTRAN. Do adheres information hiding and preservation of information. Continue statement. Continue statement hasn't got any special effect. It's just used for flow controlling. Stop statement. It is used for the termination of a computer program. FORTRAN pause statement. End statement in FORTRAN. It indicates the end of the program. Let's go for a language comparison. Here we are going to compare if condition in several languages. Language evaluation can be done by readability, writability, reliability, and cost. Here you can see the comparison of control statements with concepts, readability and writability. When comparing the condition if related to the readability, writability, evaluation concepts, languages such as C, C++, C#, Java, PHP and Python are having higher rank than the languages Ruby and Pascal. Ruby and Pascal are having medium readability and writability. FORTRAN and ALGOL are poor related to the readability and writability evaluation techniques. Let's compare switch case. C, C++, C#, Java, PHP and Python languages are having higher readability and writability when comparing the control structure switch case. Next, I am going to compare for loop. When comparing control statement for, FORTRAN and ALGOL are having poor readability and writability. In the while loop, Ruby and Pascal are having medium readability and writability.